Now with the network discovery as being installed, let's take a minute here and start talking about the troubleshooting process. Maybe you've got some issues that network discovery is not working properly, or maybe your assets are taking too long. You're just not seeing results coming in. There's lots of different issues that could be going on here. And some of these things that I'm going to show you here will also be part of a health check that we're going to perform here in a little bit. But I thought that maybe it'd be good to walk through some of these different items to just confirm that your system is working correctly. In the end, troubleshooting and trying to diagnose through a video like this is really, really difficult because there's so many options. We're not going to be going and diving deep into the logs. We do have, Lansweeper does have logs that are built into it. We're not going to be diving into those logs. If we're going to do that, we're going to be doing that on another video where it's a much deeper dive on troubleshooting specifically. But at a high level, let's talk about the Lansweeper configuration and making sure that that assets are coming into the platform the way you would expect them to. So let's just make some assumptions here. Maybe you have a situation where Lansweeper is not seeing assets the way you thought they would. Maybe things aren't coming in on time. So a couple of thoughts would be immediately, let's just look at the firewall logs. Is firewall blocking you? Maybe you have assets on a separate VLAN, not on the same VLAN that Lansweeper is installed. Do we have the configuration in the routing, the switching, and the firewalls to allow that traffic to pass through? A lot of times we think we may have that, but it may not be configured properly or completely. I'm thinking about WMI as an example. WMI has a wide range of ports that are required because they're random ports. So maybe part of that port range is not been configured properly. We do have the ports scanned and used by Lansweeper, I believe is the name of that KB article. That will have a big list there of all those things. When we look at that, then a couple things that I start thinking about is when we start looking at assets not coming in on time. Let me go into my discovery and go into discovery actions. I start thinking about like let me just open up one of these, my lab range. My lab range here has 2.1 to 3.254. This is a pretty big scope. Let's just assume this scope is even bigger than this. Really, this scope should not be that big and cause a problem with Lansweeper in the slightest. But let's just assume it's much, much bigger. Let's assume it's really, really big, maybe a /16. For those of you that don't know, the CIDR notation of a /16 indicates roughly 65,000 plus IPs. This literally could take 3 to 5 days for Lansweeper to just scan through all those because it's pinging each of those. As each IP responds or doesn't respond, there's a timeout period. And all of that starts to come into play where you may have 50 assets that are responding, but then 50 of them are over here pinging, and everything just becomes very, very slow. So having a /16, 65,000 assets is going to be way too many. But when you're looking at something like this, where we have this many IPs, a couple of things start coming to mind is how are we scanning these? What is the schedule? So I'm thinking about scheduling. You can see here, I've got these scheduled on Thursday at 1 and again Thursday at 12:27. This is a problem. I'm actually scanning them on Thursday and Friday and on Thursday again. These are coming back to back, and that could cause a backup. Now, just imagine for a moment if you have a list, maybe you're an enterprise organization that has got dozens, hundreds of IP ranges, and you start having these times overlap or conflict, you may have a very long scanning queue. So if we jump out here and get into my server real quick, and let me actually fire up my server real fast here as I'm talking to you. If we have a backup like that, and you have potentially a large queue that is causing some delays, you can see that inside of the hub itself. So if I go over here into my server on the hub server, and I get myself logged in, I can see my discovery queue. And in this queue, you may have, I need to change from my OT because I know what I'm having a problem with is my IT. This may have a very, very large list. And if you start seeing tens of thousands of IPs that are waited in queue, you have a backup problem. And I would immediately say that this is not necessarily a server performance issue. The first thing I would probably do is to back out completely and look over here at your scanning schedule and look at your actions. So if we look at your actions, you can see when the next scheduled time is in your entire list. And as you can see here, I've got today's date is the 14th. So I've got, a couple scans on the 14th that are going to happen, and then the 15th. And then the 16th. And so these are staggered fairly decently. But if you have them all on today at the same time, this is going to be a problem because it's too many targets to be happening at the same time. So I would stagger those things. Troubleshooting step would be just to figure out maybe servers that are typically always on, scan those in the afternoon or evening. Maybe you want to scan them twice a day. So you scan it first thing in the morning so you can see what's happening maybe from the night shift. And then you schedule it to run again in the evening to see what the day shift has maybe changed or added to the environment or removed. Then I would also look at printers. They could be scanned in the middle of the night because those are on all the time. Same thing with switches, firewalls, routers. Networking equipment is typically left on always. So do those way, way after hours. That way you're saving up that bandwidth and that performance of that server that's doing the scanning for those after hours. Save the office hour times for those blocks of assets that come and go, get turned on and turned off. That way you can capture that as quickly as possible. Another thing to consider is just the groupings, like we were talking about before in IT agents, or we will be talking about in IT agents. Make sure that the groups are configured properly. There are default groups. One of the challenges we have with IT agent is that the default group might not be configured correctly. And so all the assets will automatically be added into IT agent default group. I like to play with my agent number 3 there. It may be this way, and agent number 3 is not responding properly. Well, it might be because it's a part of the default group, and this default group, let me go and discard those changes. The default group is not scheduled to run at the time you thought. It's scheduled at a different time. Maybe you wanted it to be running on a Saturday at noon, which is part of the sales department laptops. So maybe you need to add that into the appropriate group. So that's another thing to be looking at too. The other thing too that Lansweeper, let's talk about the classic users for just a minute. Some of the classic users may be aware of the scanned item interval. This is a feature that is going to be coming very soon into the network discovery. The scanned item interval is basically telling the system if the hard drive has not, actually, I like to use the word floppy because the floppies are still a part of that system. I think it's just hilarious. So floppy disks are scanned every 60 days. And let's say you just want to scan your floppy every day. Well, it's set to every 60 days. So you need to configure Lansweeper to, at the scanned item interval, that item being the floppy, to tell it to scan on a more regular basis. So you can configure all these different kinds of components inside of Lansweeper as to when to scan and what to scan when. To demonstrate some of this, I'm going to show you this inside of the old platform, the platform this prior to the one we're using right now, because some of that has been added into that environment. So let me just demonstrate that over here. So if I look inside of my inventory, I'm going to capture any of my assets. Let me grab this Windows asset here. And inside of this Windows asset is the config file or a folder. And you can see this little item off to the side. This is scanned item interval. And I want to just emphasize the changes made will be applied to all assets of the type Windows, because I'm doing this on a Windows asset, not only this window or this asset. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. We can say, do you have something that's in here that maybe you don't want? Hard disk, keyboard. Here, the keyboard. This is being scanned in days. So we can see this is being scanned every 26 days. Maybe you want this scanned more frequently. Things like this can be modified to impact the performance. One of the big ones is the quick fix. Quick fix are the Windows updates. If Windows is not getting the updates when you want them, let's just assume for a moment that today the quick fix component was scanned, and tomorrow you do Windows updates and you tell Lansweeper, because it's scanning every single day at 8 o'clock in the morning, why are my changes not there? It's likely because of this quick fix. So to change this, we might want to go down to the number 1. Number 1 will indicate that it's going to be scanning every day. If we change this to a 0, it's going to scan every time a scan is ever initiated. This quick fix is going to run. I'm going to click on cancel there to keep that as the default. So some of this can be configured, and that also means too, some things you might want to turn off. This is in the old UI, and this is configurable in the old UI. This will be coming very soon. Again, we're doing this video here at the beginning of 2026. So some of these features will be being moved over, but if you need to do some of this configuration, you can do this here in this platform. Some of these changes can actually impact, and we're going to be talking more about this in performance, but that could actually impact some of that troubleshooting steps on why you might not be getting the information that you think or that you want inside of Lansweeper. That's at a really, really high level of a couple things that I would look at. I think the other thing I would just confirm when I'm looking at Lansweeper is to go into my systems and just to assure that I have the proper sensors deployed. Maybe you're wanting to scan an OT asset and you're trying to scan it with an IT sensor. That can cause problems in your environment. You really only want to scan OT assets with an OT sensor because it can actually cause some hiccups. That OT device you could actually take it down. You could cause issues. I experienced that myself personally by scanning a generator system for a building, and by scanning it with my IT sensor, I actually broke it because it should have been scanned with an OT sensor that's much more passive and gentle on the discovery process. Excuse me. So making sure that you have the proper sensors and agents and the network discovery and those systems all integrated together is really key. I think the last thing I would say is, especially these larger environments where, like you see here, this can be very confusing because I've got a lot of agents and I have a lot of network discovery components that are listed here, is I'm going to come in here and just say, I only want to see IT sensors. Now I can see the IT sensors that are in my environment that are impacting my environment. And I can say, well, maybe I didn't assign the scan target to the right sensor. Maybe I assigned my IP range for this sensor to this sensor, and I've applied it to the wrong place. So just checking some of those things like that. Those are some things I can think of off the top of my head here, and we will do some more deep dives in future videos and future courses when we start looking at troubleshooting Lansweeper from a more support and a technical perspective.